I'm actually sick to my stomach that I have to make this video. I've been a full-time content creator for over 3 years. I've been working with brands, you know, receiving emails from brands, just been in this whole entire brand, influencer, content creation, social media world for almost a decade now, and I've never been scammed. Even scam attempts, I've always been able to flag something. But unfortunately, today I fell for probably one of the most intricate and detailed and advanced scams I've ever seen. I fell victim to a Cash App scam, not from Cash App, but someone impersonating working for Cash App. On December 9th, I received an email from someone named Olivia claiming that they work for Cash App and they're on the Cash App partnership team. This is the email. It looked like it was created as a template. I've been in contact with Cash App before. I've worked with their customer service, and so I know that their domain ends in cash.app. The Olivia-cash.app was a little bit of a flag for me, because I mean, it just seemed off, but I think the cash.app part was kind of like slightly reassuring for me. I entertained it. I saw the email. I responded and said I'm interested in learning more. After I had said that I'm interested, Olivia then sends me another email, and she says, and they say, I don't even know if I should give them a gender. Like, ugh, I'm so annoyed. But in the spirit of entertaining this bullshit, I shall just give her a gender. Olivia gives me the collaboration overview PDF, which is the proposal. The content is set to go live on the 16th and it's due by the 15th. So that's like a week, less than a week. And I'm kind of like, okay, that's very quick. She asked for my rate. So I replied back saying that my rate would be $4,000. And by the way, I'm a freelancer. I'm not signed with the agency. So a lot of the times when I'm coming up with rates, I go to ChatGPT and, you know, kind of gauge off of what ChatGPT tells me, off of my experience, off of what the quality I believe I can offer. I don't think I've charged 4 figures for an Instagram story. I hadn't heard back from Olivia, so on the 11th, I sent a follow-up just to see like, hey, you guys said that you have a very tight timeline. What's up? Then on the 12th, Olivia sends me an email. She says that my rate has been accepted. She sends me the contract and the brief. At this point, I'm like freaking out. Whoa, that's amazing. Not even like a hesitation. 4,000 is a lot of money. Back to this email domain. My sixth sense was like, could not leave this email domain alone. So I actually went on my Instagram close friends. My close friends is closed off to just like people that I'm cool with. But I actually opened up to a bunch of creator friends that I'm mutuals with. And I just was like, hey, does anyone have a contact at Cash App, or do you know someone that has a contact at Cash App? Anytime I get an inquiry from a brand or a person, I always verify via LinkedIn or Instagram. If I do not find a LinkedIn or an Instagram, that automatically is kind of like, okay, this is fake, right? So with Olivia, I could not verify this person. I did find an Olivia that works at Cash App, but the last name in the contract, as you can see, this says Warren. That Olivia that I found on LinkedIn does not have that last name. So I told myself maybe like she got married and she changed her last name, blah, blah, blah. I was gonna wait until one of my mutuals responded back. But after an hour, I was kind of like, wow, like I'm thinking about this deadline. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to rush through it. I end up archiving that Instagram close friend story. And I was like, you know what? Like the domain does say cash.app. Like what are the odds? So I decided to move forward. I sent back the agreements. Luckily, it was just a signature. Oh my gosh, I forgot the biggest part. The contract looked so underwhelming. Listen, I've worked with big brands before. I've worked with Valentino, I've worked with L'Oreal, and their contracts are always so complicated. And when I say complicated, I mean like multiple pages. They included this video in the brief as an example of what I would be doing. And I'm like, there's no way this is fake. But now I'm thinking like whoever this person that scammed me is, or organization that scammed me, this is giving, they're not new to this, they're true to this. So here I am thinking, okay, like I'm doing this. This is gonna be my weekend. I had offered to go to the office, the Cash App office. And Olivia says, oh no, it's okay, you can film in the comfort of your home. And by the way, this address is real. This is all information that you can easily get from the internet. So it's not like, you know, it's shocking that they had the right address. I'm currently staying in a sublet. Like this is an air mattress. I don't have a home to use. So I decided to book a studio. And I didn't pay money for this studio. One of my mutuals on TikTok had actually reached out to me back in October saying that her studio is collaborating with creators, offering like free sessions. This is the perfect opportunity to use this offer. So I booked the studio on Friday for Sunday. Saturday night, I had a long Saturday. I get home around 12 and my body is just not feeling well. I genuinely feel like I have a cold coming on. I start feeling like the little scratchy throat, my body hurts. And so I'm like, damn, I really don't think I should go to the studio tomorrow. I need to rest. So I actually sent my mutual a DM and I said, can I switch my dates from Sunday to Monday? Long story short, that ended up being canceled anyways because of a misunderstanding. So I didn't have the studio for Sunday or Monday. Luckily, where I'm staying, the sublet, it's like a luxury apartment. They have a space here that looks aesthetic enough for me. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. Even if I don't have the studio, whatever. Sunday night, I emailed Olivia and I basically was asking about, so in the brief it says that we need to have 2 devices. One device needs to be recording our video, capturing our reactions, whatever bullshit they put in there. And the second device is meant to be screen recording the process of how to do Bitcoin. I'm over here crashing out because I usually have multiple devices on me, but because I'm in the middle of living out of my storage and my suitcase, I didn't have the devices on me and I wasn't even sure where I can find it in my storage. So I'm over here like, honestly guys, like I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but I was like looking up phones to buy or cameras to buy. And here's my thought process. I'm supposed to be buying my mom a new phone anyways. So I was like, if I buy this phone for this project, it's fine because I'm going to end up giving it to my mom. Same thing with the camera. I had been planning to invest in a new camera. It's not like I'm buying these devices for this project. I think expediting this purchase definitely was because of this project. I end up ordering a camera off of B&H store for a pickup. This morning, I go to B&H, I pick up the camera, run some errands. Usually with campaigns like this that are so tight, I'm usually like freaking out, or not freaking out, but like so pressé. I'm so stressed on time because especially for something that's due today. First of all, I'm an idiot for even ChatGPT told me to charge $1,500 to $2,000 and I added an extra $2,000 because of it having to be rushed. Even the brief, I'm looking back like, you fucking idiot. How is it going to be due on Monday, sent back to you on Monday for you to post on Tuesday? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I cannot believe. I'm so stupid. I'm so embarrassed, guys. Like, I don't even want to finish recording this. So yeah, I'm not really stressed about time at all. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna take my time. And mind you, we're in winter, so lighting is a huge issue in the winter because after 4 o'clock the sun goes down and you lose all the light. But no, I was chilling. I didn't get back to the apartment until 1 p.m. And even then I was like, I still have to do my makeup, I still have to eat. I'm telling you, the normal me would be like, I would prioritize filming over eating. I would prioritize many things over sleep. Being a child of God, I recognize all of the divinity in this. The first sign from God was him trying to flag the email thing to me. The second sign from God was the fact that the studio didn't work out last minute and I was actually pissed about the studio situation. The third sign from God was the fact that I was completely chill. I was gonna wait until one of my mutuals responded back, but after an hour I was kind of like, wow, like I'm thinking about this deadline, so I'm like, okay, I'm trying to rush through it. I did hear back from Olivia this morning also, by the way. She responded saying, oh, it's okay if you film with your iPad, you can also use a camera. In the brief it says Olivia will be available for you whatever you need, which also should have been another flag because what brand rep is working on the weekends? They ain't working on the weekends. Like, come on, this is not a PR event. They provided a number in the brief and it said text this WhatsApp number. I texted the WhatsApp number actually last night and it said this number is not available, and I actually flagged this to Olivia, and so in her response this morning she said, sorry Sarah, thanks for flagging this. Here's the actual correct number. Another sign from God that I missed. Remember I told you I was feeling ill? The cold that I thought I was getting never truly manifested into a cold. And I'm someone that when I get sick, I get sick. I think God was like trying to stop me from going to the studio. What happened to that cold that I so-called felt? In the brief, it recommended that we test out Bitcoin in Cash App. So mind you, this is a real thing. Cash App does have Bitcoin. I start playing around with Bitcoin, and so I'm over here investing only $1 at a time. The brief said, oh, $10 is okay. But I'm like, I'm doing $1. So I'm playing around with it, and I realized there's some discrepancies. According to the brief, I in the video, in the campaign video, am to show you, my audience, how to use the Bitcoin. So essentially what I would have to do is invest $500 in Cash App Bitcoin and then send it to this link, which I forgot to mention, I did search that link beforehand, I think on Friday, when I was trying to figure out whether I was going to do this or not, and it pulled up some like random Bitcoin scammy looking shit. And I was like, okay, maybe this is not meant to be Googled, maybe this is something that's meant to be internal. Again, I'm over here like convincing myself that this is legit. I'm like playing around with Bitcoin. I'm just like, wait, this is not even making sense. I ended up WhatsApping this Olivia. And guess what pops up, y'all? This is a white woman. And this is the most AI stock looking photo I've ever seen. Mind you, the Olivia that I did find on LinkedIn is black. So if anything, I was expecting my Olivia to be a black woman, okay? I instantly went to Google Images and I Google image reverse just to see if this will pop up as anyone. And Google was like, this is a stock photo. It did not link me to a real person. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is like a really good headshot. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, this is so fake. This is so fake. And I think this is when things are starting to make sense in my head. And so I'm texting this Olivia and I'm explaining to her like, wait, do I have to invest $500? Because I'm not doing that. Also, where am I supposed to paste this link? I see something where you can like scan a QR code and also scan a link, but then it's asking me to verify. And I'm just like, whoa, this is getting weird. So then I get the genius idea, and I don't know why I didn't think of this beforehand, but I actually decide I'm getting like major like run, stop, signal, this is fake, alert, mayday, mayday, mayday. I decide to DM Cash App and I simply just ask, hey, I got this email from this email domain, is this legit? Cash App confirms that this is a scam. And I think it's poetic that they responded immediately, because I feel like Cash App is a business brand, a business Instagram page that would not respond quickly just because it's Cash App and they have millions of followers. But I got the immediate reply. Like, they responded within 5 minutes. I'm just like, wow. Yo, I don't even get upset because I knew it. I think to my core on Friday when I was like freaking out about the fact that I couldn't find Olivia's Instagram, Olivia's LinkedIn, I knew to my core that this was fake. This was a very, very, very advanced scam. Whose video is this? What's a little bit hazy in my mind is on Friday, I did try to Google that email domain. And today when I Googled that email domain, it told me this is linked to, oh my gosh, I'm not really realizing my mistake. I Googled that email domain in the Google app and it flagged saying this is connected to something called the Olivia app, which is basically what people use to do financial scams. But when I was Googling that domain on Friday, I was Googling it in Safari. And I think Google, the search engine, their app itself is way more powerful than Safari, obviously, because even in the Google app, that's when you can do the reverse image searches and stuff like that, but you can't do that in Safari. So I was like, I swear I Googled this email. I'm the type of person where I'm really bad at celebrating my wins. Not saying I don't deserve stuff, but it's very difficult for me to talk about it. But I did tell this coworker last Thursday about, like, you know, how I don't like to like, I'm not usually one to do this, but I am feeling proud of myself for landing this partnership because Cash App is a huge brand. I'm embarrassed that I told people, and she's not the only one. I think I told 5 friends. And again, I don't usually share stuff like this until either it goes live or I get the money. I've been doing content creation for 3.5 years. I've been stuck at the same follower account. If anything, I've been losing followers over the last 3 years. Ever since I hit 15K, I've just been losing since then. And I hit 15K almost 4 years ago. This is not something that I stress about because I've already put it in the hands of God. What's meant for me is meant for me. My time will come. I'm embarrassed that I went and bought a whole ass camera, which is what I'm using right now. So I guess, welcome back to YouTube, Sarah. This is your first video back on YouTube. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because I feel like such a fucking idiot. This doesn't happen to me! To Olivia, sorry God, I have to say this, fuck you, bitch. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I guess I have to vlog now and I have to make back the $4,000 that I thought I was gonna make. Bye!